Good morning. Good morning. It is a Thursday, early September, where I think we're September the 5th. My name is Mandy Brenham, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. So I am here at a training conference this week. I had to leave home, missed first day of school for my son. But you know what? There's always balances on both sides. And that's what I really wanted to talk to you guys about today. It was a little bit much for me to be able to coordinate a guest, knowing that there is a bit of a time difference for where we are today. So I wanted to share with you. That's what I do. I'm a very in the moment kind of person. And so this week, as much as I am a full-time master real estate investor, I am here learning human behavior from a master human behavioral specialist in a room full of people who are constantly learning and upgrading and teaching and transforming people in various parts of the world. There's people here from Hong Kong, from Australia, from England, from Norway, just to name a few, all over the states of the United States and various parts of Canada. So we're here at John D. Martini. It's a facilitation program, and we're learning about human behavioral. So here's my question: have you ever in a day had a day that you've had an interaction with somebody that has been difficult, that you have butted heads, that you've had conflicting interests, that you might have been elated and somebody just brought your rate back down? Have you had, interactions with your children that have, been battles almost, or arguments, disagreements? And I think the answer would be for most of us, yes, of course we have. There's probably not a day goes by that there's not somebody that challenges your beliefs or doesn't support you in your growth. And as for myself, as a real estate investor, there's lots of people that are nervous for me. There I am wanting to build my real estate portfolio to a certain level. I had these ideas. I had support systems in the real estate world to be able to say, sure, yeah, you want to buy 15 properties in a year? Yeah, I think you could do that. But outside world thought that was crazy. And so how do you have the mindset? How do you have the ability to stay focused, to know that you're going to grow as a real estate investor, both personally and on your business side? And so I continue to come to these type of courses to grow my own personal development. You're perfect the way you are. You are perfect just the way you are. Have you thought of that and sat with that for a little bit? You are perfect the way you are. And as I reflect on my own thing, go like, well, you know what? My hairdresser cut my hair too short this last time. And, I still have another, 20 pounds that I'd like to lose. And, there's just little things, right? So am I really perfect? And you have to understand that in the context of the world, you are perfect just the way you are. Life happens for you, not to you. So if you are in victim mentality, and that's one of the things I wrote down very early on yesterday in my notes, was that we're looking to transcend victim mentality, is that you're not a victim. You just have to actually see it in a different way. So if a bank turns you down for a mortgage, it's not that the bank is trying to turn you down. You have to say, what is it that I'm learning right now to be able to become or be ready or be more prepared to be the investor that I want to be? If a partner walks away and says, no, I'm not interested in this deal, they're not saying no to you and to the deal, or maybe they are, and you're saying, what am I learning from this? What are they teaching me that I need to see as a lesson for me to be able to do it better the next time? Okay. And, as in our growth, Larry and I, in our first year, 2015, we had 4 partners walk away before the first partner said yes. Okay. And so if I were to have been in victim mentality that nobody's going to say yes, oh my gosh, this is really hard, all these kind of things, I would never have learned from those things to be like, okay, clarity, I need people to be only passive partners. And so all of the partners that I was looking for were that I had attracted were very active partners. So if I have somebody today that says, well, I'd like to work alongside with you, I very clearly now, because of the lessons that I had, because I didn't get stuck on those lessons, I continue to move above those lessons. I realize now to be able to say, I look for passive partners in my investment portfolio. If you're looking to be an active partner, maybe you could come to me for some coaching, but it's not going to be something that we're going to be able to enter into an opportunity to go towards. Too many cooks in the kitchen. And so transcending your obstacles to see them as that they are a part of your journey, not obstacles within your journey. Okay. They're not trying to stop you. They're just teaching you a lesson as you continue to grow. And so I was on a mentee call last week, and one of my mentees, who is just killing it in the real estate world, asked me, what did I feel would be the next type of education for herself? And we could sit here and talk about, well, do you want to go to a multifamily course? Do you want to go to a negotiation course? Do you want to do all these things? But knowing that there's always this experience in the real estate world, I suggested that the next type of course that she takes would be a course in her personal growth, a course that would, bring her into her true values, a course that would, see her potential, allow her to become alive again in herself. Why are we doing this? Also, don't be on the real estate journey to forget why you're there. To be able to reconnect to, I'm looking to create generational wealth. What is the reason that you're on here? If you're in the day-to-day world of renovations, and it's hard, and timelines, and I'm overwhelmed, I've got too much going on, I've got a full-time job, and I'm trying to balance these renovations, and and money is tight, and all this, you can get lost, lost in the moment, lost in that problem. And so there's times that, personal development or personal growth, personal inspiration will remind you why you're on this path. Now, we can remove the word real estate out of this as well, and realize that if you love what you do, and you are a personal trainer in the health and fitness industry, and you want to continue to be the best personal fitness person, but you're with a client and that client is really bringing you down, or or it's a hard day and you don't want to put on your for show face to be able to everything's okay. And this is where you turn to your personal development side, and you're able to have this authentic side of you, be able to say, yep, you know what, some days it's just easy, and some days it's not easy. But I need both types of days. I need the days full of inspiration, and I need the days full of lessons and teachings and difficult people to teach me how to be the best version of myself. So I don't know if anybody has any questions, but I'm certainly able and willing to be able to share with you some of the things that I'm learning. So I am here with John D. Martini. Somebody else that teaches this type of personal development, again, outside of the real estate world, would be a Philip Mckernon. I know there's some very successful investors, some keynote speakers, some archangel presenters, some, very pronounced speakers that are followers of Philip Mckernon. Tony Robbins is a person that if you've done a 1 hour course with Tony, I'm encouraging you to take that next level. Do you know also that the value that you pay is the value that you get back out, right? And so there are times that people are trying to minimize the amount that they spend on personal development. If you're open to it, let me share a little perspective shift on that. So what if this was an investment in you, okay? And I were to say, how much are you willing to invest in your next asset? And in Southern Ontario, I would tell you that, $100,000 is a nice round amount of money. Maybe you need a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but $100,000 would get you a parcel of land, a house in various outside of the GTA property. So $100,000. Would you ever invest $100,000 in yourself? Whoa, silence, right? That's a lot of money. to join a Tony Robbins, I think it's called like Premier, and you follow him around for a year, and you sit up close. And there's a very well-known real estate investor that has done that. Maybe he'd be a good guy for me to be able to have on the show sometime. And he will tell you that spending that, and maybe it was 70,000 American, it could have been close enough to 100,000. You kind of get my drift on that. He spent that amount of money on himself, and he said it's transformed his life. Okay. Now, in your mind, you might be, maybe you have some blocks. Maybe you have some financial blocks, some mindset blocks on what you deserve, some money blocks on how much money you perceive that you'll be able to make. That is where this type of development will get you over those unknown blocks. So maybe you're saying, oh my gosh, I'm so frustrated. I can't find my next deal. I can't find the next property. But really, it's not that. Maybe you have a block that's saying that deep down inside you, there is no way you're able to spend X amount of dollars on a property. Maybe there's, maybe there's blocks that you have pushed down, you've, put down deep inside you, and you don't really want to touch. That's where this development gets you out of those blocks, and you start to talk about them. Here's the other thing to be able to tell you. This is not comfortable. I just sat in front of, there was the gentleman right here in front of me, and the facilitator was on the floor in front of me having this interaction, okay? And the facilitator was pressuring the student, asking him to go into a moment, go into a memory, and really be present in that memory, okay? And the student couldn't go back into his mind. So his mind had he was talking about gray, space and air, and he could not get clear on this memory. And so, he there was nothing comfortable about the facilitator getting him to go back into this moment. The moment was uncomfortable. The moment was, an argument that he'd had with a girlfriend. And so here's this argument that's going on. And, most of us suppress those and be like, I never want to go back there. And, here's this facilitator going, go back there. I want to see what all is going on, what you perceived in this moment. Okay. And so if you've had conversations with me, I never talk about the weather. And if I do, it's only if it's affecting my properties. Like, here we are in Houston, and they still are talking about the hurricane from a couple years ago. And I know there's various parts of the states right now that are being very affected by weather. Those are the kind of conversations that I would have if they're affecting my property. But on a general note, that I don't talk about the weather. And the reason I don't talk about the weather is because it's just a very low type of conversation. I will ask you hard questions like, so what are your goals for this year? And if somebody says, oh, I haven't set any goals, that's not a bad thing. But it's for me to be able to say, like, well, could I help you? And some people, they continue to shy down. They realize that, it's been known that, setting goals, writing goals down, writing them on paper, getting them from a mental state into a physical state, which is, physically writing them on a piece of paper. Then there's a higher possibility that those goals can come true. Repeating those goals to yourself for 30 days. There's a significantly higher probability that those goals will come true. And then taking action on those goals every day, something that will help you move towards those goals will help you achieve those goals every day. Okay, so what are some, so then there's Mandy that says to you, hey, do you have any goals written? And you get uncomfortable. Hey, you know what? I'm meant to ask you those questions. I want you to kind of feel uncomfortable if you don't have your goals written down, because if I didn't ask you, what is it going to be, another 5 years before somebody asks you? And then you're going to be like, well, why didn't somebody ask me 5 years ago? And you'd be like, well, actually, Mandy did. Okay, and so I'm meant to be asking these people these hard questions like, I had a lady that is interested in doing a rent to own, but she doesn't think she'll be able to. She didn't think a rent to own. She just said it's going to be a few years before I'm able to save for the down payment. And so I said, well, is there reasons that are holding you back from saving money? Whoa, like that's an uncomfortable conversation for a lot of people. They'll be like, who are you, Mandy, to judge me to be able to question why I can't save any money? But you know what? You're welcome, because sometimes these hard questions are the ones that awaken us to be like, well, that was an uncomfortable question, and I didn't even want to give her the answer. But you know what? It's a great question, and I'm glad she's asked, and now I've brought it into my awareness, and I'm going to start to think about and learn about different ways for me to be able to save faster for a down payment. Right. And I know out there they say that you can't save to get rich. Okay. You need to be able to have your money working for you to be able to grow. And that's another personal development kind of thing, just to be able to make sure that you have a value on saving money, a value on growing your money. Now, if you have a higher value on shoes, when you get money, you will buy shoes. Okay. I have a very high value on houses. Anytime I get cash, I buy houses. Okay. Now you'd say, well, that's not a bad thing. But honestly, everything has its benefits and its drawbacks. And so I've realized that every penny that I get goes to buying a house. And I need to be able to keep some of that money, keep some of that cash in different forms. And last week, my guest, Quentin DSouza, I know Quentin has various different forms of investments. And so it's something that I'm taking away from him. See, you're always learning, to be able to say, I need real estate investing, and I need various forms of assets as well. So I need cash. I need some securities with the bank. I need some physical gold, silver, coins, diamonds, whatever that might be. I need some various forms. I need some life insurance, whole life insurance that'll pay me out. So just some different things there. I kind of got off topic there, and I apologize for that. What I'm sharing is that, how are you working on yourself? Work harder on yourself than you do on your job, okay? Marie, I am doing a bachelor in psychology and would like to know if I can become a personal development coach. I think it's a great question. And I would say to you, what is it that you're looking to do? Whether you do psychology and you become a coach of what? What is it that your end goal is? Do you see yourself helping people? In what form? What kind of people? Who? Where are these people? So you get really specific about what the outcome of your personal development coach is. And a lot of times you want to be able to know, what type of material are you coaching? Okay. I have dodged the whole coaching thing. I'm here becoming a facilitator of a personal development type structure, a method that will bust different illusions in your mind, get you over grief. But I don't know how that fits into my how that's going to be in my day-to-day transaction. So I know that it's going to be me able to have conversations with people very differently. But so if you're looking to become a personal development coach, then you want to connect with somebody with a coaching facilitation group for you to become a certified facilitator, and know that you are working with their material. So again, there is I think there's something, I remember friends going to, like, just becoming a coach of some sort of coach, a coaching accreditation. They did that in New York. And I'm down here in Houston, Texas. I know that you can go through a rigorous process to become a Tony Robbins coach. I don't even want to say that you can become a rigorous process to be able to see if you even can handle what it takes to become a Tony Robbins coach or facilitator. So, I mean, thanks, Lori. Have a great day. So you know what, guys, I really want to encourage you to be able to continue to say, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Make sure that you are looking real estate, and that you're looking, how do I become the best version of Mandy? How do I realize that obstacles are not in my way, that they're actually placed there on purpose for me to be able to learn the lesson that's right there in front of me, for me to be able to love a part of myself that maybe I didn't love before, because I've learned to love somebody that also has that. It's a part that I'm missing of myself. For me to be able to know what my paths are with money, and why I have this habitual process within my life, and how I can use that to better grow myself. And so, yeah. So you know what? I'm gonna keep it close. I'm gonna keep it short. I am here in Houston at a training process, coming out today to be able to come to you live for the Full-Time Investor. And so next week I am having a real estate guest. I won't have to do so much juggling. I'll be back on the ground in Ontario to be able to come to you live next week. So this is Mandy Brenham, full-time investor, JV queen, always learning, wishing for you, hoping for you, sharing with you the love and passion that I have for becoming the best version of you. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.